Hey guys, how's it going? This is AleXarcs, and today I'm bringing you some more Destiny. And this video is going to show you the strategy that I use to complete the strike on Venus, on the Ishtar sink. And this is the one where you go against the Vex, and you attack their Nexus, and you defeat the big Hydra Sekrion. So this video is taken from the Nightfall Strike from the week commencing the 28th of October. So this is the Nightfall that's still currently active at the moment, and this is me and my pal AleXarcs running this. I managed to complete it in about 10 minutes, which it's not the quickest clear, but I mean it's quick and safe enough, especially for a Nightfall Strike. So for this Nightfall Strike, we have on the usual kind of modifiers of Epic and Nightfall. Epic being you have more enemies and they're of a higher difficulty and they're more shielded as well. And Nightfall is just basically if everyone dies at once and you wipe, you get kicked back out to orbit basically, and you have to basically start the whole thing again from scratch. The other modifiers on are Angry. Basically enemies don't flinch, they'll just keep coming at you no matter how much damage you do to them. There's also Juggler, which means you don't get ammo drops for the guns that you use to kill enemies. And finally you've got Void Burn. So like I mentioned in my previous strategy for last week's Nightfall Strike against Fogoth in the summoning pits on the moon, always pay attention to what are like elemental damage burn you have on. This week's is Void Burn, so you'll see that me and Loco use basically all void weapons. Obviously we have shanks here that have fire shields, so you'll see us change to icebreakers, the solar damage sniper rifles every now and again for that. But for the rest of the fight you'll see us using this weapon here, Atheon's Epilogue. This is a primary weapon, assault rifle, but you get it from the raid, and basically this has void damage with it. So you can see the damage output there is pretty high. We're getting about 200 at least for a crit on servitors. You know, the void burn modifier actually triples the damage you do. On the flip side of that, obviously all damage that is void type is tripled, so the servitors, they're kind of void balls that fire at you, will do triple damage to yourself. So this strike can be very dangerous for that point. Most of the time when you're fighting the Fallen in this first room, you can basically just kind of go a bit gun-ho with it and be very attacking. Like I said, the shanks have fire shields, and the captain you see there, who's already dead, has an arc shield. So you might need to be a little strategic and pull out a different weapon type just to remove the shield, and then switch back to your void weapon. But for the most part, you'll just be stuck using a void weapon. So if you haven't got Atheon's Epilogue, which you can only get from the raid, you can also use a fusion rifle or a sniper rifle or any special weapon that has void damage on it. Again, I mean, we just take this slow at this point. The first room you can just charge in to get all the servitors. As long as you're paying attention to what's going on, it's fine. Here, when you're entering this room, it's a bit of a bottleneck, so you have to try and be a bit careful. You know, if one person goes down, it can almost spell disaster and failure for the whole team. But if you're strategic and just kind of peek around the door and pop in every now and again, you can get them down. And you know, this has been easy enough up till now. It's going to get a bit harder with the Vex because there are, well, like I mentioned, there's Void Burn, so all Void type damage is tripled, and there are the Minotaurs themselves, which have those explosive cannon rounds. That's void damage, so they do 3 times as much damage. And then there's a couple of I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they are the elite or major goblins I can't remember their specific name. When I see them, I will mention them. But they have Minotaur cannons, even though they're just standard Vex goblins. So you got to watch out for them as well, because they can put you down pretty quickly. The worst thing is as well is that the final boss fight, Sekrion, he is also, his energy balls are void damage as well, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage to us. You see, we play it really safe. This is Axis goblins, that's what they're called. You can see there they have quite explosive rounds, so you need to be careful at that point, because they do kind of just pop up and appear almost at free will at that initial stage. You'll see here I use this kind of little head glitch almost to get shots in on these Axis Minotaurs. They've got void shields, so they're very easy to kind of remove the shields off of, but they still take quite a pounding, even when you've got triple damage on them. But I mean, you'll see, I mean, they can two-hit you basically. The first one takes off basically all your shield, and then you're just left without that shield. So if you get hit by one, you need to get to cover almost immediately. You'll see us now, we're kind of entering the Nexus. There's only a couple of trouble spots throughout this strike, and it is basically just that room we just went through with the two Minotaurs, the Axis Goblins, purely just from the Void Burn itself. I mean, you know, it is a godsend to have these damage multipliers and effects on, but you need to be careful about what enemies you're playing against, because they also have the effect on them, so it can be a little bit difficult for yourselves. You'll see, I mean, me and Loco are both level 30, but I mean, you can run this level 29 or even level 28.
That's got to be the Nexus.
Even 27, although it's risky and probably not the best strategy. You know, it's all mostly about the equipment, really, not so much your actual level. Obviously, you need to be at least be 27 or 28 to have a decent shout at being able to do this. But you know, it has a lot to say about what void or arc or solar damage modifiers are on, and also, you know, what weaponry you've got. So here you see me, I jump up onto this bit on top of where Sekrion spawns. Now, I've used this a couple of times to actually defeat Sekrion when he gets dropped down. But you can see I am quite open, and I draw the aggro of quite a lot of the adds below. So it's quite a risky spot. You can still take damage. It's not as much damage, but splash damage can still hit you from up here. It's quite good, you know, if there isn't any modifiers on, and this is just the standard strike. If you can manage to kind of glide across onto this top piece here, you can basically run as a distraction on all of the adds, because for some reason, if you're in the open like I am there, you just attract all the attention. So you see there that Sekrion drops down, and you can shoot on him through that little gap. However, like I mentioned, it's void burn, so he's doing significant amounts of damage. You can only afford to get hit once, and well, I mean, you see there Loco gets put down. He's using another sensible position that you can kind of attack Sekrion from and avoid most of his damage, but he manages to just get hit one too many times there, so I have to make the leap of faith, get across and just pop my shield so I can get the res on him. This is really defensive, this. I have tried to do this Nightfall solo, and it's an absolute breeze if you've got the right void weaponry, up until this point, because I dropped down into the room. The Minotaurs, they give you a lot of grief to begin with, but even once you got them down, Sekrion, if you're in the open, he will just destroy you. His void damage is that pertinent. So you see here I'm using Corrective Measure, which is a Void MG, and this is another weapon from the raid. If I could stress one thing, you should probably run the raid and try and get as much of the gear from that as possible with regarding the guns, because they are so helpful when it comes to the Nightfall Strikes. You know, a lot of the drops weapon-wise are primary weapons with all these different arc damage, void damage and solar damage, and it's so helpful for the Nightfall. You see here I'm just popping up every now and again and just rattling rounds into him. 448 per hit. He goes down really quickly. It's just avoiding his shots. Obviously soloing it is a different story, but if you can get 2 or 3 people in, you can draw his aggro away and kind of feed off that and just plow him with as much void damage as possible. Anyway guys, I hope this video has helped you, and you know, yeah, just let me know if this video has helped you, because I do these videos as little kind of guides to help you through the Nightfalls and the raids and just show you different strategies. You know, please leave a like and a comment, let me know if this has, or you know, what your thoughts are, and you know, stay subscribed for more Destiny content. And well, I'm going to jump back into Destiny now. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.